Hey, everybody. Happy day after Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And let me just turn that off. Okay, cool. Hey, just wanted to say happy belated Thanksgiving. Happy Friday. Just excited to see you guys here. So I am at the Isle of Palms, South Carolina, at my family's beach house. So this is real life, real time. Had some major computer struggles. The internet stinks here. So I'm tethering off of my phone and I had to come outside. So it's a little chilly. I'm sitting in a rocking chair outside with a laptop on my lap. So you might hear some dogs in the background, babies in the background, or people might be moving around. But this is what's happening in my life right now, the day after Thanksgiving. So what we did for Thanksgiving, curious to know where you are, what you're doing, and what you did for Thanksgiving. We had the most incredible Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. It literally was fabulous. Super bittersweet because it's my first Thanksgiving without my dad. And today is actually his birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. Hope you're having a fabulous time up in heaven and, you know, doing all the things that you love and enjoy that you could no longer do here on earth. So short of not having my father and my youngest sister had to work in the ER yesterday, we had an incredible organic turkey. Thanks to Butcher Box. So thank you, Butcher Box, for the most amazing turkey. And hey, if anybody's interested, I did an Instagram story that should still be up yesterday of everything that we did, the cooking and the hustle and bustle of Thanksgiving. So if you're at all interested, head on over to my Instagram, which is just Amy Myers MD. I post a lot of my more personal stuff on Instagram there. So I'm frequently doing stories, and we posted a family photo and all that kind of stuff. So head over there if you're interested to know. We had organic sweet potato, mashed sweet potatoes. Of course, our entire meal was gluten-free, dairy-free. We did have some grains because we had gluten-free, dairy-free stuffing that I indulged in, and it was amazing, and some dirty rice. Elle had sweet potatoes, apples, and broccoli. And as you know, Thanksgiving is all about being thankful. So I, of course, am so very thankful for all of the blessings in my life, including my beautiful daughter, my amazing husband who does so much for me and my daughter. I'm so thankful for my team who really got told that they'd have the day off today, and they too were all scrambling this morning, and they're all on high alert where home with their families, but high alert working. And of course, we have our staff that is manning the store, because if you don't know, this is the biggest sale of the year is going on right now on my online store. It's our Black Friday all the way to Cyber Monday sale with 20% off absolutely everything on the store, with supplements, programs, and ebooks. It excludes the body products. But otherwise, everything on the store is 20% off. So my staff is there manning it. So I have to say, thank you so much to each and every member of my team. And I am so thankful to you all. And most importantly, I'm so grateful to each and every one of you all for your support over all of the years, particularly this past year, as you know, struggling last year with toxic mold and finally recovering from that, to having lost my father this year and then adopting a baby. So it's been a real roller coaster. Let me head over and just see who we have here so that I can say hello to. Hi, Jen from San Antonio. Hi, Thomas. Hi, Misty. Glad to see you. Hi, Dixie. Naomi. Pradana, I think it is. Hey, Digna, how are you? That's Elle's nanny. We spoke to her yesterday. She was at the beach. We're not having great weather here, but she looked like she was having a amazing time. Yep. Gina's asking if anybody's on. Yeah, it looks like there are about almost 100 people here. So what I'm going to be talking about today, folks, is all about ways in which to survive the holidays, to make sure your gut stays nice and healthy. And if it doesn't, how to recover. And then, of course, just how to deal with the stress of the holidays, because we all encounter it. And there's no way to get rid of the stress. It's really what you do to relieve your stress. I'm going to get into that in just one second. Still want to say hello to some people. Hello, Heidi, you're so welcome. Hi there, Mary. Hi, Amy. How are you guys? All right, so let's dive into it quickly, because I'm sure that you all want to get some valuable information and then head back to your families or head over to your holiday sales, whatever it is that you're doing today. Today, after I finish this Facebook Live, we are going to head on a family boat trip for the first time. We're going to be celebrating my dad's birthday, doing a little tour of the Charleston waterways. So it should be super fun. We don't, we're always here. My dad's been sick for years and basically wheelchair bound. So we really never got out and about as a family. So again, just kind of bittersweet. He's not here. So we're able to get out and about, but then of course he's not here. So, all right, let me do one quick thing and then we're going to get rocking and rolling. Okay, so before I get into what we're going to be talking about, very quickly again, Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. You can go to amymd.io/Black Friday. Now, this is not a scare tactic whatsoever. This is genuine. The sooner you get your order in, the sooner that your order will go out. So our fulfillment center has people there today and through the weekend. And then, so all those people who wait till the last minute on Friday and the sale ends Friday at midnight, if you order and you wait till the very last minute, we could be out of products because we have stocked up, but it's our biggest sale and we're already exceeding expectations. My staff texted me this morning. Again, these are not scare tactics. This is genuine. I'm being 100% real here. So if you don't order till the end of the day, Monday, they're going to, be playing catch up and your order might not go out till mid to end week. If you order your stuff today, tomorrow, we have extra staff. They have extra staff just in there for us at the fulfillment center filling orders. So it's the same sale. You don't get any extra benefit if you wait till the last minute. In fact, we could be out of something. So it genuinely behooves you in all circumstances to order early because your order will go out earlier. In fact, if you order today, your order is going to go out, I think potentially tomorrow, but certainly Monday. And then, you're guaranteed to have whatever it is that you're looking for be in stock. So, okay. And then I have extra support with my fabulous staff. We'll be on phone, live chat, and email 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. every day. And then Monday, they'll actually be there until midnight. So yay, go team. Thanks staff for just really, pulling it all out here. Really appreciate it. Okay, so when it comes to the holidays, we all get busy. It is the craziest time of year. Likely, if you're like me, you're traveling, you're running around crazy, you're like me, potentially a mom trying to care for your children. You might also be like me and be a working mom and then trying to travel and get everybody out of town. So if that is happening to you, it's stressful. And if it's not happening to you and you're at home, maybe you're hosting a bunch of people, either way, the traffic gets bad. Our routines get disrupted. We're going to events and parties. We're getting all off kilter. We're potentially eating, either knowingly or unknowingly, foods we're not used to eating. We're, pushing the limits a little. It happens to the best of us. So what I want to talk about today is really how we can all stay on track and just assure that we stay in optimal health and we get through the holidays as best as possible, as stress-free as possible. Love to hear any of your favorite suggestions about what you do too as I'm talking through these things. Please put in your suggestions at the bottom as well. I wish that there was a way that I could maybe next time open a whole new browser and see you guys and myself at the same time. Let me see here. I think I can do this. So we have David from St. Charles. Marie says she loves the Isle of Palms. Trish says, happy birthday to my dad. Thanks so much, guys. Also, real quick, the way that we're going to do the links when I'm talking about a lot of my favorite things here, my staff's going to put one document all together rather than trying to put in all the different links so that you can just refer back to the document, okay? So the reason the Myers Way is called the Myers Way is that it is genuinely a way of life. That is really the reason that I called it the Myers Way. I want this to be a way of life for you. So this isn't a quick fix. This doesn't mean that everything goes out the window during the holidays. It really means, hopefully, if you were sick, you've restored yourself to wellness, and we want to continue on that path. So this is a lifelong journey, and our health can ebb and flow based on stressors. You might, guys, notice, some people might notice as the holidays, you're around your family, it might trigger something. You are stressed out. Your symptoms start to get worse, or else you're overindulging in something and your symptoms start to come back. So we really want to try to avoid that as much as possible. One of the biggest things that people tell me, either their autoimmunity came out during a time of stress or they've gotten well and things ebb and flow for them during a stressful period. So last year I went through this myself when I was dealing with toxic mold. I got sick again, and then I was able to get well. I was very proud of myself that when my dad was very, very ill, I really took a lot of the things that I'm going to be telling you today and used them in my own life, and I did not get sick. And so a lot of times during stressful events, and the holidays can be good stress, or for some people it can be bad stress. And I'm, of course, talking about all this stuff that we're home together with our families, but it might be stressful for you because you're alone. Maybe, you've, who knows, recently got divorced, your family's traveling and you can't be there and you have to work. You might be older and many of your peers have passed away. So isolation can also be stressful too. So please connect with those that you love. I connected with my aunt yesterday, my father's sister, and her son told me I was the only one who called. So please, if you know somebody, whether it's a family member, a friend during the holiday season that's alone, having to work, whatever it is, please reach out to them so that nobody's feeling alone during this time. Okay, so let's talk about what we do when we're traveling or when we're talking about the holidays. And my first step is called defense, okay? So we want to defend against all of these things. So if you've gone through the Myers Way, if you've read the Autoimmune Solution, you've read the Thyroid Connection, and you've just done an elimination diet, hopefully during that process, you figured out what your absolute no foods are. So hopefully if you're dealing with autoimmunity, gluten and dairy are your absolute no's. My family was so sweet yesterday. They either used dairy alternatives, or I can tolerate some ghee and they use that, or certain things, they just made a little batch for me that didn't have any dairy in it. So if you're gluten or dairy free, or you have autoimmunity, I hope you're gluten and dairy free, and those should be absolute no's for you. You might have some other absolute no's, or you might have discovered that many of the things that I had you get out of your diet for 30 days, that you've added some back in, and you've realized like you can just go ahead and eat them. They're fine. Maybe tomatoes or peppers are totally fine for you. Great, go for it. Maybe you've realized that like me, I really don't like to eat for various reasons, because it's carbs and it's, feeds bad bacteria and candida and stuff. I don't like to eat a lot of grains or legumes or, like the gluten-free, dairy-free stuffing. But once a year, I had gluten-free dairy stuffing. It's actually the first time I've ever had stuffing. It was amazing. I never liked stuffing as a kid or anything. So anyway, but you need to figure out what are your absolute no's, and you want to avoid those. Just absolute no, just don't even get tempted. Then figure out what things that you can play around with and you can indulge with that aren't going to cause you big setbacks. And then go ahead and do those over the holidays. Everybody thinks that I live this straight, narrow path and that, that I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I am human, just like each and every one of you all. I have the same struggles that each and every one of you all do. And I make the same choices day in and day out, or I'm exposed to the same things that I need to make choices about. I might not make the same choices as you. So I know that I can tolerate eggs, and I can do that rather frequently. I know that I can tolerate rice and even legumes pretty frequently, but I just don't like to eat them frequently. So just know what your no foods are, and then know what foods you really absolutely need to avoid during this time. Okay, so that's our defenses. The second step is to be prepared. And this is, to me, one of the most important ones. And that is just really taking care of yourself. And that means if you're the one who's hosting the holiday party, friggin' make it gluten-free, dairy-free, or whatever you need to make it. It will be amazing. If you need some recipes, we have the Myers Way Holiday Recipe ebook. There are 46 amazing AIP Myers Way paleo approved recipes. It is absolutely fantastic. We have appetizers, sides, main dishes, desserts, drinks, everything. So just make it how you want to have it. It's easy. And then don't forget, the Autoimmune Solution Cookbook is coming out May 2018, and we have some incredible things that we've added. We're going to have a whole section on like baked goods and desserts. It's going to be fantastic because so many new products have come out since I wrote the Autoimmune Solution. So these things are available to you. Remember, my husband and I, we got married actually in 2 days. We got engaged 3 years ago and married almost 3 years ago. And our entire wedding was the Myers Way approved, so it can be done and nobody knows. You can do that. Now, if you're not hosting something and you're going somewhere, bring something that you can eat. Bring 2 or 3 things that you can eat. Take care of yourself. It's so important. I never go anywhere, to a party, to dinner, to an event, without either knowing that I have talked to the host or whatever the situation is, and I know for sure that there are things that I can eat, or if not, I offer to bring something, and then I know I'm taken care of. If you're really caught in a bind, eat before you go, and then just, have a drink and socialize. So it is possible to do those things. Ask for a potluck, and then, have people bring different things, and you make sure that you bring the things that you know that you can tolerate and eat. So let's see. Hi, Lainey. She's just joined. Nice to see you here. My hubby just joined. Joanne saying great advice. Stephanie's from Denver. Awesome. Okay, so main thing is take care of yourself and make sure that you have something that you can eat. Now, my other secret to being prepared is taking digestive enzymes everywhere I go. So certainly if you're going to a party and you don't know what anybody else has made, if they truly understand what gluten-free, dairy-free is, what autoimmune, what paleo is, enzymes. So the enzymes that we have on my website are a comprehensive blend. I mean, they are the most comprehensive enzymes that I've seen, but they have enzymes in there to help you break down dairy and even gluten. Now, I never recommend that you take these and then eat gluten, but it's in there in case you get cross-contamination from a restaurant or you accidentally get exposed. So the DPP4 is a type of enzyme that really helps to break down gluten in the body. So personally, I love the chewable enzymes. The chewable ones, I believe, do not have any of the egg white lysozyme in them. The pill form have the lysozyme. Now, this typically is not the part of the egg that people are sensitive to, but if you are, get the chewable. I like the chewable anyway because they work right away. They're super easy. I carry them. I literally have a bag like in my bag that I carry in my purse, and you just chew them up and then eat right away. And I can tell a big difference, and particularly if I'm eating out in a restaurant, absolutely. So those are a must if you're one, trying to heal your gut. If you're eating out in a restaurant, you're going to holiday parties or going over to somebody else's house for the holidays, and you just don't know what's going to be there, how they cooked it, how they prepared it, all that kind of stuff. Okay, being prepared also involves traveling. So I travel during the holidays. I travel a lot. And in fact, Elle is 8.5 months old, and she just had her 7th literally round trip. 7 times she's flown on an airplane. So you can see how much we travel, right? And that's just Elle. I've done some trips without her. I've done, I think, at least 3 trips without her over the time of, the last 8 months. So I travel a lot. So my keys to traveling are, since it's in the prepared section, is being prepared. So whether that's making extra food the night before, whether that's, running to, I usually typically make our own food. If I'm in a bind, there's a place locally in Austin called Snap that everything's gluten-free. Most everything's dairy-free. They have paleo. They tell you everything that's in the ingredients. As clean as can be. Everything is not organic, but this is where you got to, pick your battles. And I'm going to talk a lot about this when I get to the stress section, because that's something I've really had to learn over time. I was reading this book. I think it's called Present Over Perfect. So really, just giving up on being 100% perfect and doing the best you can. So packing your own food is absolutely crucial. So we usually have a bag that we just, carry. They have these bags now. You can get them at Target, and they're already insulated, and you put the whole bag in the freezer, and then you pull it out and keep your food in it. We've had to do kind of stuff like that because of Elle, and we travel with bottles, and we travel with now homemade baby food for her. The other thing is, finding the nearest Whole Foods, Costco, whatever, as soon as you arrive. The next option, which I really took advantage of, is to have some stuff delivered before you even get there. Of course, I'm at our family beach house, but this beach house gets rented out. So we're fortunate that there's what's called the owner's closet, and we can put stuff in it and lock it away. But when it comes to perishable foods, my family, many of them arrived before I did. And so I had things sent ahead of time. And so we, of course, had the Butcher Box grass-fed and organic turkey arrives before I even got here. But certainly ButcherBox is great for meats. If you want to have something sent ahead of time, then you have already your grass-fed, pasture-raised meats available to you. Thrive Market has tons of pantry items available to you. You could also have that delivered ahead of time. Even now, there's Instacart and other things that you could, order ahead online and get it delivered. Now, I know that these, at least those last two, could be more expensive. ButcherBox and Thrive Market actually save you money. So it can be advantageous. Or even Amazon now these days, you can order stuff ahead of time. So I'm really trying to be much better about that, is making sure I have the things I need to take with me ahead of time, or heavier items or things that, I can order, have them already shipped before I get there, so that I don't have to be racing to the grocery store as soon as I get there. Now, if you're eating out, just make sure that you're calling the restaurant ahead of time. You're, researching options before you get there. And of course, taking the digestive enzymes with you. Let me see what else we got here. Hi, Christy from Carlsbad, New Mexico. We were just in Santa Fe. We love it in New Mexico. Cindy said she's going to get the enzymes. Awesome. Don't forget, they're 20% off right now. Aldi Dell wants to know, are enzymes fine during nursing? Yes, they actually are. Maria Ruiz is in New Brunswick. Hi, she's recently diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia and RA. I am so sorry to hear about that. And she is she's trying to learn how to eat clean. So definitely pick up a copy of the Autoimmune Solution, and that should help you out. And then, of course, all the supplements you'd need are 20% off right now. Okay, besides enzymes to take if you've been eating something that you know that you shouldn't have. Yes, Naomi, I'm going to get to that very shortly here in just a minute. So we're talking about prevention, and in just a minute, I'm going to get to recovery, which is all about what to do if you inadvertently, hopefully, rather than on purpose, get into something you shouldn't eat. And then alcohol. So, it's the holidays. It's festive. People want to have a drink. I personally really don't drink a whole lot. That's more a matter of choice, because I don't feel so great when I do. And I just want to wake up every day feeling as good as I can. When I was in Santa Fe, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I did have an alcoholic drink. When I was out, we were celebrating. The team is expanding, and we've had an incredible year. So I did have a drink. So awesome. If you want to have a drink and you can tolerate alcohol, have a drink. Things that I do if you don't want to drink but still be festive is to do things like a sparkling water with lime and a splash of cranberry juice. Or if you are going to have alcohol, just be aware of course, all the hidden sugars in alcohol, but try to choose distilled liquors rather than fermented. Obviously, beer's pretty out unless you get a gluten-free one, although I don't really trust those. But beer is pretty out because it's filled with gluten. So but wine is fermented. And for those people dealing with yeast and candida issues, that can be a real problem. So what I recommend is a distilled liquor, like a vodka or a tequila, and then still trying to mix those with like a sparkling water with just a splash of cranberry juice versus any kind of pre-made mixed juices or, pre-made tequila things with lots and lots of sugar. So you don't want to have the 1-2 punch of both the alcohol and all that sugar. Maybe just the one punch of the alcohol with just some sparkling water and a little dip of cranberry juice or whatever juice you want to give it some color and some flavor to make it, seem very festive. So those are my tips. And then, of course, if you're going to drink alcohol, make sure you're definitely taking lots of glutathione. If you're somebody like me who has difficulty processing alcohol, I make sure that I take extra glutathione when I'm doing that, because it's going to help your body process that. In fact, just a little trick we do when I'm away at my conference with all the other functional medicine doctors is we all stock up on glutathione. There's a big party every year. Still, I usually only have 1 or 2 drinks, but there's a big party every year. And what I recommend is, or what we all do, is take some extra glutathione at the beginning of the night and at the end of the night to just get rid of that alcohol. Okay, so after we've been prepared, hopefully, then what happens if you do either indulge or you accidentally get exposed? So I have a great article. It has been, gone around the world and back because it's been such a popular article about 3 steps, a steep 3-step approach if you've been glutened. And so you can take this step these same steps, whether it's gluten that you've been exposed to or another food that you've been exposed to that you're having a reaction to and it's causing inflammation for you. So those 3 steps can be applied across any food. But the first is, of course, to get it out of your system as quickly as possible. So yes, the enzymes to help break it down, because we have the enzymes in the actual digestive enzymes that help break down the gluten and the dairy. Then you want to kind of bind it up. So right now we have the GI detox. We'll be moving over also to just our custom charcoal here shortly. So you can use that to bind it up, to bind up whatever, whether that's a GI illness all the way to a food. It's going to help you bind it up and flush it out of your system. So you want to make sure you're peeing and pooping. So you want to stay well hydrated to help flush this out of your system. So that's how it's going to get, out as quickly as possible. Then you want to go in and you want to reduce the amount of damage that it's doing by reducing the inflammation. And great things to reduce inflammation are the curcumin that we have and the omega-3s that we have. So those are going to help reduce inflammation all over, and particularly in your gut. And then you want to, of course, repair your gut. And so we have 3 things that I use to repair the gut pretty regularly. So one's going to be probiotics. So if you're already taking a probiotic, you can double up on your probiotic. Collagen, again, if you're already doing collagen, you can double up on your collagen. Or if you're not doing it, add in collagen. Collagen, our gut villi are made of collagen. And so this is going to help kind of reformulate that collagen in your gut and help seal it up quicker. And then L-glutamine. And again, you can either double up on your L-glutamine, or if you're not taking it, start taking L-glutamine. And that sort of helps to close those tight junctions. Or I'm sorry. So the collagen is going, there's so much information. I'm trying to get through it all. So I'm going quickly. Plus, I'm here with my family, and I'm sure you guys want to be with yours too. The collagen is going to help, like I said, recover those little villi and plug up the holes. And then the L-glutamine is going to help rejuvenate or turn over those gut cells even more quickly. So, so those 2 things, or those 3 things, and that 3-step approach are what you really want to be doing if you've gotten into something accidentally. Okay. So Mariella, I guess, is asking, can you take enzymes and glutathione? And absolutely you can. Hey, Raspberry, happy Thanksgiving, belated. Good to see you here. Let's see. Okay. So, was just looking for any new comments. All right. So, kind of talked about how to be prepared in terms of gut health, like what to do, be prepared, and then what to do if you get into something. So that's the first step of just really keeping your gut nice and happy and healthy over the holidays. So let's now get into stress. And we can't get rid of stress. I mean, there actually may be some ways to minimize it. I found a few tips for me that helped really this trip. We had a very seamless trip, and that was after just 10 days before going to and from Santa Fe and not having a seamless trip, that it just, normally between trips, you kind of forget how stressful the trip before was. But since these were back-to-back trips, I really took what I learned from that last trip in Santa Fe and applied it to this trip, and it worked. So I'm going to tell you a few things that I did, and they might be applicable to you. They might not be applicable to you. You might be able to do them. They might not be available to you. So I just want you to know, again, I'm just telling you what I do, how I get through things. If it helps you, I hope it does. If you can't do it, you don't want to do it, you have a better option. Anything that you can think of that helps you with stress, please put it in the comments, because we all need it. Even me, I'm not perfect at all. So what I learned from my last trip is, they always say pack your stuff and then take half of it out. And I usually don't. Well, this time I really thought, what do I do every time at the beach? I'm with my family. I'm in the house all day. I'm in yoga pants all the time. Why, bring one outfit for Thanksgiving Day, but just really minimize it. So minimizing what I brought was what I did. And again, just trying not to be perfect and just really going for being as prepared as possible, but not trying to be perfect. So one of the things I do, because I do travel so much, is I either have 2 of things that I like either 2 sets of all my makeup or 2 hairbrushes, or, I'm trying to think of things that I have 2 of, things that aren't super expensive that I can afford to have 2 of, and I keep them in a drawer that I just pull it out. I also have my little travel pack, because I, of course, always travel with my own shampoo, lotion, soap, all that kind of stuff. whether I'm going to a hotel or not, I never use that stuff. Same thing for Elle. So I just started a drawer for Elle, packed all her little things up in little jars that I got at Target. And same thing for me. I already had that for me. And then I just pull it out. So it's ready to go. So, and then what I have learned when it comes to Thanksgiving travel for us, because I own my own business and I can work from anywhere for the most part, I decided to leave a day later. So we left on Tuesday instead of Monday or even the weekend, because I knew I worked the whole weekend and Monday was insane, that I, have learned not to leave on Monday for Thanksgiving. And then we always come back on Saturday. So we'll be leaving tomorrow. Of course, I always want to maximize my time with my family, but I need a day to unpack, recover, all that stuff before I hit the ground running again. So I've learned that about myself, just altering my travel times to where I always have a day on either side. Asking for help. We have a nanny. I know not everybody can do that. Normally I would have just given her the morning off because we had a morning flight. And I said, no, I need you to come in the morning so she could be there. I recently got a personal assistant and people have been telling me for years I needed one. I finally got one. So yay. Hey, Brooke. I had her come over, and then Javier's aunt and uncle were taking us to the airport and they came over. So we literally had 4 people helping us as we were getting ready to go in the morning. So somebody could be helping feed Elle, dress Elle while I was, continuing to pack up the stuff. I always eat a good breakfast before I get on a plane, so I don't, start the day off bad and not have a full belly and get caught in a bind. So just all that last minute stuff. We also learned, we don't use the big stroller. We only use the carrier in the plane. So we bought a little travel stroller, left those things at home. So these might seem insignificant, but it was all these little things put together made for a much less stressful time for us. And I'm going to get into some other things that you can do here in a minute. And then again, I was hosting, my sister is pregnant, and we were having what's called a big brother party for her son. And I just had a lot of things shipped ahead of time, ordered them on Amazon, had them shipped to my stepmother, and then she brought them down to the beach. Versus in the past, I would have tried to carry all that stuff with me, had big packages, just would have been super, super stressful. So I think, my stressors traveling may be different than your stressors traveling. So I would encourage you to figure out what those things are. And if you can alter something, alter something. That to me is about, again, just being prepared and being, taking care of yourself, which is all any of us can do during the holidays. Hi, Katie, and hello, Allison. Katie, I'm so excited you're here. I saw on Facebook you have a new little one, so we have to get our little girls together. Hey, Allison, I hope to see you here in the new year at your new house out in the country. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so being prepared is, again, just whether we're dealing with trying to keep our gut healthy and protecting ourselves during the holidays from either foods or, foe or something that's coming to potentially get you, or even a virus or an illness, to stress, because that stress can really drag you down and create an upkick in your symptoms. So being prepared, and I think really the most important thing is asking for help. So whether of course, here I am talking about travel, but if you're somebody staying home, and you can apply all of this, if you're the person hosting, let's say you stay home and everybody's coming to you, shop earlier, see what you can do to get help with. Somebody told me if you live in Austin, the main Whole Foods downtown, for just literally $5, they will shop for you, and then you pull up and get it. It's literally only $5 only at the main Whole Foods. So there are more and more services coming, or whether it's getting out a day early, taking one of your personal days from work and going, and though you may not get to go get the massage or whatever it is that you wanted, but be able to go to the store a week ahead of time or several days before the crowds, that could be as beneficial to you as the massage, because you beat all the crowds and you didn't have all the stress and all the traffic and all that kind of stuff. So you got to figure it out for yourself. And then, of course, during these holiday times, finding time for yourself. We have a house full of people. We have a gigantic 70-pound puppy, and then a little dog, and they're squeaking and whatnot. Babies are taking naps at different times. We have a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old, and people in and out. Finding time for yourself, a walk on the beach, quiet meditation in your own room, reading, prayer, music, whatever it is for you. finding that downtime, that time for you is so crucial. Again, we cannot eliminate all these stressors. Hopefully we can make some of them better by adjusting how we do things, but finding time for you. And then, of course, supporting your adrenal glands with adaptogenic herbs. So, of course, we have some in my store. The Myers Way Adrenal Support is available in my store. And they're a good blend of adaptogenic herbs. What adaptogenic herbs are is they help you adapt to stressors. If you're low in adrenal hormones, they help boost them. If you're high with too much cortisol, it helps reduce it. So I have mine with me, literally, no lie. They're just sitting in the other room right over there. Took mine this morning because it's just a stressful time of year, whether you love your family and you're not traveling and you're not hosting and all you do is show up, still probably stressful in some kind of way, versus you're the all out traveling, have weird things with your family versus you're hosting everybody, and making sure you're getting good night's sleep. So it's a little difficult. Elle has her own room back at home. Here we have to share a room. And, the first couple of nights she was off schedule and then was making for a rough couple of nights. But luckily last night she slept through the night, which we were so thrilled about. I travel with my amber glasses everywhere I go. So I definitely recommend, if you don't have a pair of our amber glasses, our blue light blocking glasses, travel with those. I was wearing them at dinner last night. I also have, I got on Amazon, I think, a little light bulb that has an amber light. And so I put that in the room at night, and then I wear my amber glasses. And of course, I talk all about this in both books, putting flux on your computer. If you're going to be on your computer, hopefully you're not going to be on your computer, you're off visiting with family, but the blue light blocking glasses are going to help decrease that cortisol and boost that melatonin, so you make sure that you get a full night's sleep. I know everybody's so busy trying to fit it all in, and this is maybe where you remember presence over perfect. So just being in the present moment, and everything does not need to be perfect, and maybe cut back on all the things that you're trying to do. Of course, we want to send a Christmas card this year because now we have a baby. And I'm like, okay, I don't think I can get all those addresses together between now and Christmas. It will have to be an e-card because, I got all those emails in my email. So realizing I'd love to send a Christmas card, I can't make that happen this year. So I'm just going to send an e-card. So figure out what are those things that are still good, going to make you happy, going to, achieve the same purpose, but maybe not be as perfect as you wanted it, and let go of those things. And then, of course, if you have any trouble sleeping, which I always do whenever I have a time change. So my first night here, I took my melatonin. So my 1-2 punch for a good night's sleep are the amber glasses and the melatonin. Of course, all of this is on sale, 20% off now until midnight Central Standard Time on Monday. Let's see. Mary says she's loving the Parasite Breakthrough Kit. She's feeling much better. I'm so happy. Let's see what else we got. Marie is also saying that she is grateful for this information and tips. She's planning for success. It's so true. So even though you might have already gotten through, Thanksgiving, you still got to get home. But we have Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, it's still the holidays in December. New Year's, there's several more holiday festive times to come. So these can be applicable across all boards. So don't forget, I'm going to put all the links of anything that I've mentioned today. We'll post it to the top. But if you're interested, you can also go to amymd.io/holiday tips. Okay, so for those of you who, aren't super familiar with me, I have what are called the 4 essentials. They are the 4 supplements that I believe everybody needs to take because we've depleted our soil. It is not as nutrient dense. We are living in a stressed out world. We have leaky guts. We are being bombarded with toxins and viruses. So the world is not what our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-grandparents lived in. It is very, very different. So those 4 supplements that I recommend everybody take, and don't forget, they're 20% off right now, biggest sale of the year. So while supplies last, the multivitamin is absolutely essential. And of course, if you're anybody dealing with thyroid dysfunction, adrenal dysfunction, or autoimmunity, this is an incredible multivitamin for you. We have 200 micrograms of selenium in there, There's some studies showing that just taking 200 micrograms of selenium alone decreases TPO antibodies in 60% of people. We have iodine in there, which I could not find any multi out there that had that amount of selenium and iodine in it that I have. So of course I made my own. I talk all about in the Thyroid Connection why I believe everybody's iodine deficient these days. Of course, a probiotic is absolutely crucial. I mean, we all know there are more cells on us and in us than there are of our own. There are more microbes on us and in us than there are of our own cells. So it's really, we're the puppet, and those microbes are really controlling the show. And it's important to make sure you got good microbes in there. Omega-3s are going to help reduce inflammation. They support your thyroid. They help heal your gut. Healthy cognition. So omega-3s are the all-around bomb, and the ones that we have are in a patented technology that are more bioavailable to you. So they're sort of pre-digested. And so one of ours equals like 3 of somebody else's omega-3. So you have to take a lot less, which can be pretty important when people are taking a lot of supplements. And then of course, vitamin D, we need vitamin D to support our immune health. It's wintertime. A lot of people are not getting the same amount of vitamin D. Everybody I see in my clinic is vitamin D deficient unless they are already taking vitamin D. And often many of them are vitamin D deficient as well. So then I'm going to kind of go through some of my favorite supplements just based on the Myers Way, right? So Myers Way is made up of 5 parts, which is our diet. And so those key essentials are really part for, you know, making sure you're getting the most nutrient dense diet along with high quality supplements to make for that perfect optimal nutritional balance. Then we have gut health. And my go-to supplements besides the probiotic are of course collagen, because that helps prevent and repair leaky gut. It's very equivalent to drinking bone broth. So if you want to make bone broth every day, or you're buying a commercial bone broth, more power to you. If you want the quick, easy fix, collagen powder is right there. It has 4 essential amino acids that help hair, skin, nails, gut health are the main benefits that we use it for. In you know, when I'm talking about it, we have mostly type 1 and type 3 collagen that's really good for the gut. Again, your villi are made up of collagen, so it's very, very important. And the collagen that we have is tasteless. You can put it in warm things, cold things, put it virtually in anything. And I'll give you a little precursor. We're going to have some gelatin coming out soon as well, because we need to have it for the Autoimmune Solution Cookbook that will be coming out in 2018, May. We have lots of recipes, including the gelatin. And then, of course, enzymes are my other go-to. I already mentioned it, both for accidental gluten exposure, if you're suffering from leaky gut, candida, parasites, SIBO. I often recommend it there too, just to help decrease the burden in your gut so that it can help heal faster. For immune function, we're in the winter months. So, and if you're dealing with autoimmunity, the immune booster is filled with immunoglobulins, sort of like what comes from colostrum, but it's even more powerful than colostrum. And that helps bolster the immune system. It's great to take if you have autoimmunity. I often get that question, is it okay to take? I prescribe it as part of my autoimmune wellness kit. And then, of course, if you're worried about, you know, those nasty bugs that come out in the winter time, this is helpful to help support your immune system during the winter months as well. And then immune function, of course, probiotics. And there's so many supplements that fit in so many different categories. Probiotics for gut health, overall health, immune function as well. Detox, probably my biggest 2 are my 1-2 punch with the glutathione and the GI detox. So the glutathione is going to help to pull any toxin out. Glutathione is the biggest detoxifier in our body, and it's particularly wonderful if you're drinking alcohol to add in extra glutathione. I personally bring it with me everywhere I travel, along with the GI detox, because of my mold sensitivity, and frequently I encounter mold. I'm at a beach house. Beach houses are always moldy. So fresh air, so I always sleep with the window open, and then glutathione and GI detox for mold as well. And then stress relief, I've already mentioned the adrenal support. And then, of course, making sure you're getting a good night's sleep with amber glasses and melatonin. And then B vitamins. B vitamins are super crucial whether you're dealing with stress, you have, wanting to maintain your energy during the holidays, or if you're somebody with MTHFR mutations like myself, you want to make sure that you're definitely taking a pre-methylated B vitamin. So methylation support, just so you know, my go-tos, and this is truly genuine. I have a little supplement pack kind of always packed up as well. And so what I do is I get little plastic jars, or you can get glass, but when I travel, I do use plastic, little things, and I write on the bottom what each thing is, and hopefully that's enough to get me through with my travel. So let me tell you what is in my kit. Glutathione and GI detox for mold and just general detoxification when I travel. Those are absolute musts. I mean, the puppy got into mine, and I nearly flipped out because he got into my glutathione and my charcoal, or my GI detox. Luckily, because I am prepared and never want to be without that stuff, I had 2 bags of it. So 2 bags made up, one that I keep in my purse and one that I had in my regular bag. And I put one on the table, and he got into it and was eating it, and it was almost gone. So I was literally freaking out, because that's my absolute must-have when I'm traveling, particularly here, because I know that we're at the beach. And luckily I had another bag. So that's my absolute go-to. My methylation support is my other absolute go-to. Multivitamin, fish oils, probiotics, vitamin D. I personally take the pill because I like to take 10,000 units every other day rather than drops, but the drops seem to be the most popular on our website. My adrenal support. And let me think if I have anything else in there. So those are my absolute bare bone basics. Like when I'm traveling, can't be without bare bone basics. And then of course I do take a lot more, like the curcumin and the immune booster and things like that. So I have kind of if I'm in my absolute bare bone basics mode versus my, what do I take everywhere? And so depending on the trip, sometimes I take absolutely everything. I know myself, I'm like you, I'm human. I get off my schedule on the holidays. I'm not quite as good about my supplements. So I really try to take the bare bone basics when I try. Oh, my digestive enzymes. I already told you that, because I'm using the digestive enzymes just because you never know. So that was my other one that I use. Okay, so I'm going to get to y'all's questions here in just 2 seconds. Very quick. Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales kicked off this morning. 20% off supplements, programs, ebooks, essentially everything on my website except for the body products. And you can go to amymd.io/Black Friday. I don't know why I keep wanting to say back. Now until midnight Central Standard Time. If you're just joining us, please go back and listen to the beginning. I have some amazing tips that I told you about how to prevent getting, gluten or, into other kind of foods that might wreak havoc. So really basically how to prevent your gut from getting messed up during the holidays, how to heal if your gut gets messed up, how to prevent stress, and how to recover from stress and relieve stress during the holidays. So I have some great tips for you guys. So go back and listen to the beginning. And then one final thing to say about the sale. I said this in the beginning as well, but if you're just joining us, this is definitely not a scare tactic. I'm being 100% genuine here. This is while supplies last. We did stock up, so we should have, a lot of everything. But the sooner you get your order in, the sooner it's going to go out. The fulfillment center that we use has extra people there today, tomorrow, and Sunday to help with all the orders that are coming in over the weekend. And then they'll have some. Then they'll go back to their regular staffing on Monday. So if you wait till the last minute and order on Monday, one, we might be out of something, and 2, it's going to take longer to get your order because they're going to have less people to be able to fulfill those. So definitely get your order in. The sale is no different. We don't do any trickery at the end and give you more of a discount or anything like that. So you get the same deal today as you do midnight on Monday night. So you might as well just go ahead and order it now. Okay, so I'm going to get into your questions here in just one quick second. So Lisa's asking, does the curcumin still contain soy? So Lisa, the curcumin that we have has a soy derivative, which allows it to penetrate into the cell. most people who have a soy issue, this is not the protein that they have problems with. However, just because I don't like to have anything with soy, we are going to be changing over our curcumin that it doesn't have that and that it has the natural oils. But this soy is not the soy that people are allergic to or that I'm asking them to avoid. And of course, it's non-GMO soy. It's a derivative that helps penetrate into the cell. So Nancy wants to know, is GI detox good for things besides mold? Yes, it binds all kinds of things. And so it binds, you're asking about lead and mercury. Yes, it binds lead and mercury. So I recommend it for anybody dealing with die-off for Candida or SIBO or any type of die-off from Lyme. If you have mold, if you have heavy metals, if you're just looking for general detox, this is a really good product because it binds things. Be sure to drink lots of water and to take it away from any essential medications or nutrients like a multivitamin. Okay, Patricia, what's your opinion on HCl? I think most people have, that's hydrochloric acid, that's what our stomach makes. Most people are HCl deficient. So I recommend it to a lot of people. And the way to tell is you can take one pill. If you feel no burning, take 2 pills. If you feel no burning, this is of course with food and always with a meal. Take 1 pill, no burning, take another, no burning, take another, no burning, take another, burning. Then you go back to where you did not feel burning. So if you take HCl with a meal and you have no burning, it means that you're low in stomach acid. There's a great question, Cindy. If I forgot to take my digestive enzymes before I eat, can I still take them after? Yes. Now, I did that last night. In fact, I forgot to take them with my second Thanksgiving meal in the evening, and I went and took them right after. So if it's been 3 hours, probably not worth it at that point because your meal's been digested. But if you're eating and you finish eating, or you went to a restaurant and you go straight home, I would say within 30 minutes or so, you certainly could still take those and they would have benefit because your food's going to still be sitting there. Morgan, do you always take enzymes or just occasionally? Personally, right now, I felt like there was, I got into something and there's something going on with my gut. So I'm taking them all the time right now. My recommendation for my patients is if you're new to the program, you are trying to heal your gut and heal yourself, I recommend taking them. If you're anybody doing one of the programs for Candida, parasites, SIBO, any of those things where you have to heal your gut and get rid of something, I recommend taking them just to ease the burden. Or if you're somebody who's already been through a program, you're doing great, you're feeling wonderful, and then the occasion would be when I would take them, which would be out at a restaurant, going over to somebody's house for the holidays, Christmas party, holiday potluck. I'm very fortunate at my office when we have a holiday potluck. I know everybody's super duper educated. They're sensitive. They know what's going on. We don't need to worry about it there. But if you're in a regular old office and you say gluten-free, dairy-free, and somebody doesn't really know what that means, you probably want to have some enzymes on hand. Ale, how do you prepare and defend your baby while traveling? Is glutathione safe while nursing? This is a great question because I totally left out everything I did for L. So another thing that has been just so stressful for us over the last 8 months is traveling with a baby because she needs so much. And we've been doing breast milk. So we've had to take huge coolers of breast milk. Then we switched to camel's milk. The camel's milk, which Desert Farms that I use is having a 40% off sale today. They're already on back order because I gave Brooke, my assistant, instructions to get up early and do that, and they're already on back order. So I was in a bind. I ordered some, and then it didn't arrive, or it wasn't there in time, and so I had to order more, and luckily I know the owner, and so he split my order and he sent 3 to Austin and 1 got delivered here to the Isle of Palms where we are, and it was a frantic before we left. And then now we're doing baby food for her, and I make everything organic baby food. So in fact, my nanny Digna was helping, and Brooke, while I was gone. They were making a lot of food while we were gone, and we put it in, I used sage, I can't think of the bottle, the jars, and we make tons of baby food and put it in the freezer. So we've been traveling with frozen baby food. So frozen milk, camel's milk, and then now frozen baby food. So, this trip we decided to travel with a little less frozen baby food because we have a kitchen and we're at a house and we can make stuff. So we just brought the baby bullet to make her food here. And I got a couple of the foods. I know it's not quite as great, but I went to Whole Foods. Even Target has them now. The organic baby pouches of various vegetables. And, I've just said on the plane, rather than opening up a baby food, I gave her one of those pouches and I had to be okay with it. So it's not ideal, and I don't do that every single day. But again, presence over perfect, right? It's not going to kill her to have anything less than homemade organic food. So, but anyway, we bring probiotics for her. She takes vitamin D. She takes fish oil. So in every one of her bottles, probiotics, vitamin D, fish oils, since the day of her birth has she had those things. We'll move on to a multivitamin, once she's able to chew, and I feel that she needs that. So everything that I do for me, I do for her, and even more, because it's just, she's little. So back to, so I would do everything that you're doing for you, for your baby as well. Now you're talking about being pregnant. So I don't know if your baby's born or not, but I would not take glutathione while you're nursing. Yes, it's technically safe to take it, but if glutathione is doing its job, it's helping you detoxify. And when you detoxify, it's going to come out in your breast milk. So it's going to so in a way, you almost want those toxins in a certain kind of way to stay in you so that your baby's not getting a larger exposure. If you were to detox while you were pregnant or nursing, naturally you're already doing that. It's going to the baby, unfortunately. But you wouldn't want to do more of that, because then your baby's going to get even more. So if you feel like you're having some detox issues, I would go ahead and wait till after you're done nursing or deliver or whatever and do glutathione then. Or if you're somebody planning to get pregnant, go ahead and do that stuff before and try to get some of these toxins out and then get pregnant. Rita, is iodine good for Hashimoto's? Sounds like maybe you have not read my book, The Thyroid Connection, but I highly, highly recommend. I have an entire section all about this. So the very, very high dosages of iodine, I don't think are good for anybody with thyroid dysfunction. Lower dosages like we used to get in our diet and naturally from salt, 150 to 300 micrograms, I believe are perfectly safe. And I use them for my patients with Hashimoto's or Graves'. And I recommend it in my book, The Thyroid Connection. So Mary, maybe a question for a different time, but curious your answer. Can thyroid antibodies via lab testing be reduced? Mary, it sounds like you haven't read The Thyroid Connection either. So ask somebody like Santa to give you a copy for Christmas, or I'd pick one up on Amazon today. In fact, when you order either of my books, you can go back to my website and put in your receipt number, and you'll get hundreds of dollars of free gifts after you order either of my books. So, absolutely. Yes. It happens day in and day out. Just by taking a great multivitamin with selenium of 200 micrograms has been shown to reduce antibodies in 60% of people. Gluten-free, day in and day out, I see that reduce antibodies. And then if you follow my Myers Way program, you should definitely see a reduction in your antibodies. Okay. Gina, if you have a food allergy blood test, should you use that over the things that you should not eat in the Myers Way? Gina, I say this time and time again. I say this in both of my books as well. Your body knows better than any test. All food well, first of all, there's food allergy testing, which is IgE, which is a true allergy, which can go into anaphylactic shock. What I refer to are food sensitivities, IgG, delayed food sensitivities. There's IgG 1, 2, 3, and 4. Some IgG lab tests do a total and don't do all the subfractions. So if you paid, the cheaper the test, usually the less number of the IgGs that they do. So it pays to pay for an expensive test. I believe your body knows better than any test. Those tests can be very useful to pinpoint things that you can't figure out. They can be useful in addition to, but nothing beats going through the program, adding the foods back in, and seeing how your body responds. I've done these tests on thousands and thousands of people, and I see every day where they don't always match up. Sometimes they pick up something and a person gets rid of it, and it was a game changer for them. Sometimes a person tells me they feel horrible with corn and it didn't show up. So they're not 100% perfect. Your body knows better than any test. They can be good as an adjunct to use together with going through the program. And please know that if you're not currently eating a food and you've been avoiding it, that if you then do that test, it should not show up. It doesn't mean you don't have an issue. It means you're doing good avoiding the food. Lisa asking, will DAL or the Histozyme, will it still work after, again, after you take a meal? Lisa, that's the same, really, the answer that I have for the digestive enzymes. Better if you can take that ahead of time, but the food's still sitting in your gut. So if you forget and you remember after the fact and just within 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, definitely 30 minutes, you should be good to go. You can still take it. Works better if you can take it ahead of time, but it will work if you take it while you're still digesting your meal. Okay, Mariella, I have SIBO and Candida. What program should I follow? How do you treat kids exposed to musty environments? Mariella, I would recommend the Candida program, and within the Candida program, we have instructions how to treat the SIBO at the exact same time. So you can actually kill two birds with one stone, but I would follow the Candida program and add in the supplements for SIBO, and within the program, there are instructions on how to do that. Okay, well, I'll give a second to see if there are any more final questions. And real quick, everybody, just Thanksgiving is all about being thankful. So I am thankful for my family, for my beloved husband, who is so amazing with our daughter, for my daughter, for her birth mother, who had the, strength to give her up and to let her be part of our family, which is the biggest blessing I could have ever asked for. For my team, who's so amazing that you have no idea. I'm sitting here, just me and a computer, but the number of people that are spread across the country right now that are here to help make your lives a success, to help you take back your health, and to help your checkout process and the sale go as smoothly as possible, to be there to answer your questions, to help you at checkout, to help me to put the questions that you guys have been asking into a sheet for me. My team is spread across the country, so a big shout out to my team who are all working today, the day after Thanksgiving, to help you all, help empower you all to take back your health. So thank you, team. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, to you, my community, people like you, Misty, who are always here every time I do a Facebook Live, to you, Robert, who's always here and who are very active in our actual community. Anybody who's interested, we do have the Myers Way community, which is a separate Facebook Live, a separate Facebook community, which is a smaller community, and it's people who are going through any of the programs, and there's a lot of support both from my team as well as other members of the community. So pop on over and join that if you'd like. It's a more intimate experience with people going through the program. And of course, each and every one of you all for being here to take back your health and for showing up for yourself. So don't forget, my strategies here are to really prevention when it comes to gut health, and then recovery. And if you are joining us late, you can go back and listen. And then when it comes to stress reduction, again, prevention, and then again, recovery or relief, stress relief. So you can go back and watch this if you're just joining us late. My team's going to put what was I going to say? They're going to put, now that I'm looking at myself on Facebook, I see y'all have been staring at my double chin the whole time. Sorry about that. My team is going to put one big sheet up that has all the resources that I mentioned. And then, of course, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 20% off everything in the store except for body products. My team's available until 7 o'clock Central Standard Time every night until Monday night, and then they'll be available until midnight. So I hope everybody has an absolutely fabulous day. Happy birthday to my dad up in heaven today. And if you're traveling, safe travels home. Have a wonderful rest of your holiday with your family. And I will talk with you guys soon. Take care.